the UFC is planning to put 9 title fights in the White House card. So we can't kind of let that happen. So let's make some new belts out there to put in the White House main event. Some kind of like the BMF title, but not the BMF title, right? Let's do the first title that we should add to the White House. Let's put the YN belt. What is more representative of America in the White House than a YN belt? I'm talking about, let's have this, the main event, be opened up by Cedric Dumas and Kevin Holland. What more of like a high school bathroom brawl between a bunch of friends going at it, only body shots, don't hit the head, you know, fighting over a girl, fighting over maybe like your vape or something like that. This is the pinnacle of America right here. Kevin Holland, 4570 versus $13 bank account balance, Cedric Dumas. I think this fight's going to be absolutely banging, bonkers. I don't know who wins. We never know how Kevin Holland is going to perform, but I would love to see this fight at the White House. Next fight we should maybe add is the autistic belt. Now, we already kind of saw this fight happen between Arnold Allen and Gene Silva. We all know Gene Silva got that win, started barking. So let's give him a first defense for this belt. Who would it be? It's going to be Benoit Saint Denis. Now, this one is a little weird because I couldn't really find much people who Gene Silva could match bar for bar with that neurodivergence. And I can't tell if Benoit Saint Denis is either, you know, autistic or he's just French. He kind of has that Muppet look, kind of like a tube sock puppet with googly eyes. That's what Benoit looks to me. He also probably has PTSD from being a war criminal, going to war, you know, all for the country of France. But I think this is the only person that could really match that neurodivergence of Gene Silva. Let's see it happen. Let's go down. Let's make it fight, right? Second fight, other fight, blob belt. Nothing more. Again, the McDonald country of America. We need a blob belt in for the stakes of it. Now, we already saw this fight go on, kind of like the autistic one, right? We saw it go down with Hamdi Abdel Lassib and Cocoa Chocolate Peppa Pig Chris Barnett. The sad part about this is that there isn't any defense going to happen because sadly they both got cut. You know, RIP both of them. Like and subscribe if you missed them, because I missed them so much, man. But I think the best runner up for that would have been, I mean, we got Rosenstrike versus Shamil the Blau Garcia, but sadly, Rosenstrike got cut right after this fight. You know, we're going to miss him, but I guess the only thing we could do is give Shamil the Garcia Tai Tuivasa to who could get the blob belt. You know, first one to get it back. It's kind of like when John Jones vacated the light heavyweight belt and it was fighting before a vacate. This is fighting for a vacant, right? It's kind of just like that. Same exact thing. You know, the best of the best blobs out here. Look at that smirk from Tai Tuivasa. He wants it badly, right? Next belt, the chiniest belt, and weirdly enough, this is gonna happen very soon between Johnny Walker and Dominic Reyes. We're about to get it. Will it be a double knockout? Who's gonna win that belt? Will it be a draw? Who knows, right? But whoever wins this fight, I think should fight Jack Hermanson, because Jack Hermanson I think Orobai did it, grazed his ear with like almost like a kiss of a punch, and he fucking went down like Tower 7. So we can't kind of like, I don't know if the person who gets the belt or the person who does the chin gets the belt, but I think I need to see these fights, right? Next one, the convict belt presented by Akon. He's gonna be the one wrapping the belt over either Shara Bullet or Dumas. Yes, Dumas appears twice in the White House. He's gonna fight twice in the White House. Shara Bullet, we all saw that video of him sucker punching a guy who kissed his girlfriend, who had the audacity to kiss his girlfriend out in public. The monster. But social justice warrior over here, Shara Bullet, smacked him up. Real convicted shit. I don't think he got convicted, but criminal stuff, right? So who's gonna win this? We need criminals to represent America in the White House. Give either one of these two the chance, right? Next belt, the Cesti belt. Now, there's a lot of options. Weirdly enough, I was going to have Adesanya. I was thinking about putting Pereira with his big butt randomly. I was thinking of putting Hooker. But I think the only two people who I'm really able to have them fight for the belt the most, Sastamaxers out here, is Michael Morales and Ian Gary. I was going to think Michael Morales versus somebody else, but I have seen Ian Gary's butt cheeks. Oh my Lord. I thought, I saw a picture. Oh my, I don't even want to talk about it. Look, Michael Morales out there wearing skirts. Ian Gary out here showing cheeks out in the world. I don't need to see it. I don't want to see it. Sest Max Who's gonna win? Who's gonna win? It's kind of just that. Who's gonna fight Dan Hooker at 155? Right. Next one, the waifu belt. Who is the girl of my dreams? Who's gonna fight to win the honor of having me at the White House? I'm gonna wrap the belt around them. It's either gonna be Natalia Silver, who is my love, or Mackenzie Dern, who is my body pillow. Based off on whoever wins this, like, we need a baddie on the White House. We have to have that the useless woman fight, great big deal, cool. What women's fight? There we go. That's it. Kickboxer belt. Now this one's interesting. This one's actually a good one because it could. I think instead of doing, maybe the UFC could do like a kickboxing, like almost like Sufa, almost Muay Thai. But at the same time, let's just do like a kickboxing belt, a boxer belt, a wrestling belt. And see who's the best wrestler, and it doesn't count for anything. But we had this fight kind of at the peak of UFC kickboxing. We had Israel Adesanya versus Alex Pereira, and it's 1-1 in the UFC, one more brutal than the other one. And because it's 1-1, we can kind of continue with nobody having the belt, aka no defense, and that's just gonna be for the vacated, right? So I think the best person for that belt right now, since Adesanya has been going steady decline and Alex Pereira has been incline, let's give him Gane. Let's put that kickboxing belt. Who's going to be the best kickboxer in the UFC? Because right now it's Pereira or Gane. Gane is the only person in heavyweight, light heavyweight, even middleweight, who's probably the best kickboxer. He has a kickboxing career in his past before UFC. Same thing with Alex Pereira. Neither of them are going to go for takedowns. Neither of them are going to clench in the gate, in the fence. Both of them are just going to go absolutely kickboxing, buck wild, in the center, point down, Max Holloway type shit, and knock out whoever wins, just minus the big loves. I would love to see this fight. I think we're probably going to get it at the White House. So even if it's not for the heavyweight belt, heavyweight interim vacate belt, whatever they're doing, I would still love to see just this fight. It's a good kickboxing belt, and I think the winner would get the kickboxing, kind of belt, like the privilege of being the best kickboxer in the heavier division of the UFC, right? Next one, the pound for pound belt. Another kind of almost realistic belt. Ilia Topuria mentioned it too. Let's do a pound for pound belt. Now, it could be Ilia Topuria versus Islam Makhachev. The problem with that is I don't see Islam Makhachev going back down to 155, and I kind of don't want to see Ilia going to 170. I just don't think it fits his frame. He's going to end up blob maxing like me. I don't want it. I do not want it. I don't care how heavy Ilia Topuria walks around 190. I do not need it, right? So I think the second best option would be Khamzat versus Alex Pereira. Another fight I don't think is deserving. But if we're talking about pound for pound, I think it's pound for pound number 3 versus pound for pound number 5. So that's who the winner of this becomes pound for pound number 1. That's how I see it. This is the pound for pound heavier weight classes belt holder, and I think this will be an amazing fight. I just don't think Khamzat Chimaev deserves it yet. I think this is below Alex Pereira, weirdly enough, because I think this one is Alex Pereira's pound for pound undisputed belt right here. Tom Aspinall, who I think is ranked number 7 or 8 in the pound for pound ranking, which is, you have it that way. But Alex Pereira ranked number 5. I think if he wins this, he's the GOAT. He's the pound for pound number 1, and I think that's my GOAT right there. That's what I'm saying. I think this fight would be the best one to get the pound for pound belt outside, because it just makes more sense than Ilia Topuria versus Islam Makhachev. If you disagree, you disagree. I'll allow it. I'm not gonna fight you for it, but it is an amazing pound for pound belt fight if we're gonna have one, right? Next one, the boxer, elite boxer belt. I'm talking about who is the best boxer in the UFC, and honestly, it is so sad to say this, but I think. Oops, I'm going to edit that out. The best boxer would have been Ilia Topuria versus Dustin Poirier. If Dustin Poirier was in his youth and his prime and he had 2 working hips, this is a fight I would have loved to see. Even if before Dustin Poirier retired, if it was Dustin Poirier instead of Oliveira, I still would have loved to see that fight, just because Dustin Poirier is such a fun fighter. He's such a fun boxer. He has a little bit more of that Philly shell, going at it. Ilia Topuria is fucking explosive. If he traps you, if he corners you at any moment, you're done for, it seems like. So I think Ilia Topuria would have won this at that moment. But if Dustin Poirier was in his prime, I would have loved to see this fight. Sadly, he's not. He's retired. He's gone. So who would have been next? I think it's JDM. Weirdly enough, I don't want to see Ilia Topuria go to 170, but I would still love to see this fight. JDM is like a weirdly enough, like a de-evolution of Dustin Poirier, because I'm just basing that off the Islam Makhachev fight. Dustin Poirier was able to do so much better against Islam Makhachev than JDM was, so I'm basing it on that. But theoretically, it's the Pokemon higher evolution kind of fight, right? Ilia Topuria, I don't think I don't know how this fight goes. lighter man skill, but is it 2 times weight lighter man skill? Is the range and kind of like the poppiness of JDM gonna be so much better? The power, the difference. Can Ilya knock him out? I don't know. I think just stylistically, I would just love to watch this fight. Just see two like. Ilya Sapora has never thrown a head kick before. No body kicks, nothing above the legs. JDM is just so fucking bob and weave heavy, and it'll just be a spectacle. That's really just what I'm trying to say. I would love to see this fight. Less jokingly, that's no YN fight, but this would unironically be a fight I would wish to see, but I want it to be more of an exhibition. All right, next one would be the Huggers belt. Now this one I wanted to be very disrespectful. I wanted to put like Hamza Shamaev and something like that, but I think we've seen this fight before. The closest it's been is Evloev versus Aljamain Sterling. And I don't even think it's a hot take to say this, but this was genuinely a really good, almost like very, very like attention worthy fight. Like this was an amazing fight from both of them. Two people who are like not known for being actively like finishers or exciting, but this was a really good fight. And that's kind of where I was like, damn, I might be disrespectful here and look for another boring fighter for Evloev. But I think if we give him someone like Armin Sarukian, who, I mean, I could be mean and try to force that he's a boring grappler too, even though he isn't. We saw that versus Hooker. We've seen that before in the past, Joel Alvarez and stuff. And I could have probably given him Gamrot to make it a boring fight. But even Gamrot, I think it wouldn't have been a boring fight. Yeah, this upper division. Let's see, Evloev fight 155 and see how he does there. But I don't think either of these matches would have been boring. We saw Armin versus Gamrot, and that was also like a grappling spectacle. This is amazing fights out here. So I can't call it with pride and respect a hugger belt, right? So I had to change Evloev, and I kind of can't disrespect him like that, despite not being one of my favorite fighters. So who would I give it to, right? Asuma versus Tatsuro Taira, and even then, I don't think this is like a boring belt. I think there should be grappler's belt, right? Asuma I have shooters out here waiting for him. It's on site, you little bitch. The only reason I say that is because he left such a bad taste after fighting my boy Ochoa, where he just kept trying to like he just separated, goes for a double leg, separate, goes for the hips, separate, goes for the hips. But even if you give him like Tatsuro Taira, who is another grappler, I think they're both gonna negate each other. I think they're gonna just lead to good scrambles, good positioning, good get ups, and then maybe get stuck in the feet like Usman versus oh my god, Colby Covington. It might be just a kickboxing match, like a sloppy kickboxing match, which yeah, it could be boring, but it'll still be fun. Like I still can't see this fight being too ass, like a hugger's belt, like a Hamza versus DDP, because that one wasn't two grapplers. DDP didn't know how to grapple, so I think this one's a little weird. But I think this fight, I think it's a great fight. I think it's a fun fight. Potential. Next fight for Asu. If Taira loses to Van, I can see it happening. Right, next one, the biggest duck belt. Now, this one also is a little disrespectful, and I'm kind of taking it back because I am a Usman fan. I'm sorry, I was wrong there. Kamaru Usman versus Bilal Muhammad. Neither of them are really ducks, but I need to see the Usman Bilal podcast. I forgot what it's called, the Undisputed Pound for Pound or whatever it is, the Pound for Pound podcast. I need to see the files. I need to see the fucking Usman crying, Bilal making Usman cry apparently, or head kicking him and shit like that. I need to see that file. Usman has been ducking the question of what really happened. He has been ducking this fight. He had the chance to put him in like #1 contentions. Bilal was champ. And Usman was talking about the Bilal fight, like, no, there's nothing there for me. You know, I'm not. He's below me in the rank, but he's not. He was champ. He was higher than you in the rankings. So it's kind of like this. Like, I'm not gonna say Usman is a duck. This is for the duck because he's been ducking Bilal Canelo hands for some reason, and I really want to see this fight. This is actually a very interesting fight. They're both at like the end of their career. They both have been in the top of the division for the longest. You know, both of them have powerful names. Disrespect Bilal as much as you want. He has a powerful name. He went on that crazy win streak. He has more. Does he have a more recent win than Usman? No, right? Buckley? Yeah. I mean, I think this is an amazing fight. I really just want to put it the biggest duck belt. Maybe that's disrespectful, but I just want to see this fight. I think this fight will be crazy. I think the press conference will be fun, and I just really want to see it. All right, and that's about it. That's everything I have. Let me know what type of belts you would have made or added. Besides that, like and subscribe. Have an amazing day. Hopefully, I see you tomorrow. Bye.